Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sekiro, but not as you may have expected of it. I'm GLPhoenix, and we're going to have a bit of a fun time with this one. Alright, so I'll just get us started, and then I can talk about what is randomized. So, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so what is randomized in the Sekiro randomizer? Well, pretty much everything, to be quite honest. The enemies are randomized, mini-bosses, bosses, all of the items, everything. And actually starting off with confetti, that's nice. Because sometimes you find yourself in a spot where you really need to fight an enemy that requires confetti to beat them, and it's really annoying. And the reason why I was going to say the reason why I was able to get this in the shots fired is because every now and then you find a segment where everything just wants to shoot you. And as you can see already right off the bat, things are looking rather dangerous as I almost get hit in the back by something. Alright, so there are some things that aren't randomized purely because the game needs to be able to progress. So the sword, the healing gourd, and the prosthetic isn't necessarily needed right off the bat. But for the settings that I am using currently, which are more streamlined, it is possible to have things completely shuffled so that all items can be literally anywhere. That is... okay. Good start, love to see it. Oh, what was I about to say? I completely lost my train of thought by getting... Please. It's always the monkey with the gun. Please let me get out of here. Okay. Cool. I just want to get through this, please. Okay. The settings we're using are much more streamlined, so the important items, all the good stuff, are in what the randomizer deems to be important locations. Of course. Luckily, you don't have to actually fight the tutorial boss. Hit me. Thank you. As you can see, ooh, also getting a text with it. Nice. There are a lot of non-important item locations that I will be picking up in the early game just because some of the important item checks are in shops, and also there's the chance for combat effective items like damage sugars, the confetti that I picked up earlier, and also hints. That's another thing with the randomizer and the way it's put together is that there are a lot of hints strewn throughout it. Another one right there. I'll read them all a little bit later. But essentially what the randomizer has done is weave into a lot of the lore text in the game. Hints to certain items, certain locations, and whether or not an important item is there, or whether or not a certain location will or will not have an important item. Alright, we get the spear. That's something that probably means I'm going to have to fight an ape early, because with another thing with the settings that we're using, as I try and... this is always the vibe check mini boss for me. If I'm feeling good, this one is just fine, but... alright, cool. What do you got for me? Mechanical barrel and the axe. Well, not necessarily what I want. But the way the randomizer logic, or at least the settings that I'm using, it tries to create not really unfun roadblocks, I guess I should say. And also there is a scaling to bosses and mini bosses, so if I find something like a late game boss or mini boss earlier on, its health and damage is going to be scaled down. Nothing. And inversely, if I find, say, Lady Butterfly later on in the game, she is going to hit like an absolute truck. Just picking up some more items. Contrary to what you may think, the Gutchen Sugar, the Stealth Sugars, I don't really use all that often. Let me please just get this item from this lady. Good start. Please do not interact. All that for a gourd seed. This is starting off about as well as I would have expected. And this isn't even the worst. There's some sections later on where things get very wild. Another one of the options that there's usually an enemy here. Never mind. That I take advantage of is the Bell Demon Temple doors are open at the very start. And I'll show you what that means after this. I am gonna rest so I get the resurrection back, because Snake Eyes can be a bit of an awkward fight if I screw it up, and especially if these... What do we have here? We have a chicken and a lizard. Okay. Nothing too dangerous. Thankfully, I can parry that. Come on. Snake Eyes, I swear. I could dead angle this right now. No, they're popping out of it. There's a lot of the usual speedrun tricks that... What am I doing? Just forgot to block. A lot of the usual speedrun tricks can work, but you need to find unique solutions for them. Or unique setups for them. Like dead angling and... Oh. I really hope that's not important. Memory early on, love to see it. What's here? What's here? Oh, Shizu, that's fine. There's quite a few mini bosses that aren't necessary, but we'll see what she gives me. Medicine. Alright, so talking about the hint system. There is a hint right here that tells me nothing required is underwater. Cool. That eliminates 3 checks. And this is what I mean by the Bell Demon Temple doors being open, is that it opens this path immediately at the start of the game, which allows me to, well, the path that I essentially end up doing pretty much 100% of the time is this path. Go backwards through Sempo to get to Ashina Castle. So I essentially clear out a bunch of Ashina Castle before even going past the snake. Also, headless. There is an option in the randomizer to make it so they are not needed at all. They're just completely useless. A mini boss in the Sunken Valley doesn't have anything at all. That eliminates 2 mini-bosses. Only one of which isn't necessary, so that's not much, honestly. Alright, fine, I was trying to execute you. Never mind. And there's another hint on this bell. Close. And the hint tells me that key to save Kuro. A boss in the mid-game will have the secret passage key. There's a lot of the hints are very much in the kind of flowery language that the game already has. So a key to save Kuro. There's also one that could mention a key to a Silvergrass field, which is the same key. It's a secret passage key. A centipede extractor. That is the spear. That's another something talking about an important item. I'll read all those later because essentially what I do is the first like big chunk is pretty stock standard. I do this path, I then go back, go past the snake. There's nothing there. Do whatever is at the GLPhoenix fight, go up and then fight Genichiro at the top or whoever is going to be there instead, and then go through the depths, get to the cave door, and then I'll start going wherever I'm needed to go, because just essentially getting out of the way first, the stuff that I know I'm going to have to do. I know I'm going to have to, at some point, go through the depths, because this is Immortal Severance ending, which means I need to go to Fountainhead and do all that kind of shenanigans. This is one of the areas that is really kind of interesting with the randomizer, which is usually in the base game just a bunch of very inactive monks and stuff, and likewise up here it's just a bunch of bugs, but instead we get very dangerous monkeys with swords and guns, lots of guns. Thankfully that was okay. Just going for the volume of checks for the time being, well, at least the volume of items. Not really getting much of anything. If a certain boss does show up, I can show you a very interesting use for the Ash. Hopefully, it won't have to come to that. So yeah, essentially having these couple of idols in Senpo also means that if I do have to do anything with Puppeteer, I have the perfect couple of idols in order to do that. So yeah, I guess I should just state what I'm needed to do. Like what am I needed to get? What I need to get is the Mortal Blade. I need to get the Shelter Stone and the Lotus of the Palace, which will then trigger the invasion. That would be essentially all I would need if I was going for like an 80% kind of a thing, just like those 3 items. Going for Immortal Severance, it pretty much doubles the amount of items I'm going to need, because then I would need the Aromatic Branch. Everything hurts. Everything is pain. And we're through. The branch, I will then need the breathing technique to get through Fountainhead, and would also need the Divine Dragon Tears, and also... so Mario for 5,000. And also the Secret Passage Key. So that's one of the reasons why we end up preferring to go with the Immortal Severance instead of just any percent, because you get to do more with the game. If you're just going for any percent, there's quite a few times where you can just be done within an hour. Sometimes the items just line up in a way where you're in and out real quick. Another Kuro's Bell Charm. Alright, so because a hint pointed to that item, which I picked up from that mini-boss, it means that it is an important item, which means I am going to have to go into the pass into Hirata. Oh, Tokujiro, this is actually not an easy one. I usually only come down here as a like just a bit of a check just to see what's down here and if I can open this path up a little bit quicker and also potentially get a good item. But the scaling on this particular mini boss is pretty harsh. As you can see, I'm like having to really work for this one. Let me just quickly. Oh, that was. I'm still an Elden Ring brain. There we go. Ugh. All that for a prayer bead. Because yeah, like as I mentioned, I will be coming down here at some point because I kind of need to. Not there. Going through the depths, getting through to the Wedding Cave door, so I can then get into Fountainhead. Means that I'm going to have to go through there eventually. And doing that fight is usually a good chance on something good showing, at least memory-wise or something. This is also an important check, because this is usually where the gatehouse key is. Come on, game, what are you doing to me? And doing that mini-boss then, if it's like a quick and clean one, which it wasn't, it just opens up that path quicker instead of having to go to the long swordsman slot, which doesn't even have an important check on it. So making our way through Ashina Castle before we've even technically made it past the snake. Just grabbing checks along the way. I only have the single memory, which is particularly great. This is an important item check. And another prayer bead. Lovely. Alright, so there's another check at the bottom of this castle, which I am going to go and get because I hope that it's going to be a memory. Let me in. Practice it I did earlier. I missed that horrendously. It's just a prayer bead. Cool. You know what? I'm just gonna let them kill me. Come on, hurry up. Gets me back to the top again. Like depending on the enemies, I can just idle out and get out of there without any much issue. And then there's enemies like that, which is like, it's quicker just to die to them and respawn back up here. Really, just a lot of balloons. Alright, there is another important item check in here. It's a memory, love to see it. So, it's only balloons. Why is it only balloons? I don't want the balloons. Yeah, memories to make our attack much better, because later on, I'm definitely gonna need it. Oh, some Arco, lovely. By the end of the game, ideally I have around 10 attack. I'm just gonna rest just to reset that aggro. If I can get to the end with 10 attack, I'm pretty happy. The lowest I've reasonably been able to get through it is around 6 or 7, but it was not fun. I'll say that much. Just the old parry tutorial. I'm actually pretty happy for it because after playing Elden Ring, I got out of the habit of parrying a lot. Okay, what do you got for me? Another probate. God, I'm getting all the probates. Another hint, mid-game location. Mid-game boss has the breathing technique. The hint said to meet a dragon, and that essentially means to get to the other side of Fountainhead, so I can then do the Divine Dragon fight. Which, by the way, is going to be very interesting. If you play the game and gone into that fight where there's all of just the random, just the wave of white dragons, yeah, all of those get randomized. That can be a real big old time. Right, so there's also, thank you, oh my god, the firecrackers. There are 2 important checks that this guy will give you. One for having at least 1 level, and another for fixing 3 prosthetic tools. So getting the firecrackers there was literally the best thing I could have gotten. Because A, the firecrackers are probably the best prosthetic in the game. And 2, it gave me the instant 3rd prosthetic tools, so I could immediately get that check. And I am going to be using as much of these as I have available to me, because I don't trust myself to not take damage. Actually, these are going to be quite useful. Let me just quickly check what skills I have, because all of these are randomized as well. Devotion is a really good one. Let's just get more of these. Mercury counter isn't in this, so I'm led to believe that there is a book early on that I will be given, which will have it. Because with the settings that we're using, usually a lot of the tools needed to deal with certain bosses or mini bosses are found before the boss or mini boss themselves. So because I've got the spear very early, there's a chance that the ape fight is going to be pretty early, or at least I am going to deal with it before too long, either instead of Gyobu or instead of Genichiro at the top of the castle. Likewise with Mikiri and fighting... ow, missed that. Also, for any actual speedrunners of Sekiro, look away now. I'm not doing any of the canyon skips, so I'm just doing it very... semi-casually. I've done many hundreds of hours of randomizers of this game, have not bothered to learn the canyon skips. Not even this one, which is technically the easier one. I just could not be bothered learning them. But anyway, that's that snake, quote unquote, dealt with. Don't you worry if you are seeing some frame stuttering. The game sometimes does that because there's a lot of things on the screen that Sekiro wasn't really meant to be doing. So sometimes the game is a bit of a tough time. Alright, so first boss, what are we looking at? It's an ape. Well, at least we're getting it out of the way early. God, I hate this fight. Monkeys. I also would like to leave at least some of the emblems for using the spear. Camera? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Come on. Please. Poor choice of words. So yeah, the audio and all that, still there. So Genichiro is still Yobu is still popping off, but yeah. And also, as you can see in the top left, even the name is slightly altered to accommodate for it. Thank you for giving me that. Okay, that is the ape dealt with. Don't have to deal with that again. Because honestly, first, like, the bosses that I'm most worried about are first phase ape, in a spot that's like really annoying, and the Demon of Hatred. Those are the two bosses that I actually just do not want to deal with. At all. I would much rather deal with Sword Saint Ishin than deal with that ape. Alright, so now that that fight is done, just doing a bit of cleaning up stuff, taking out this specific enemy so that this enemy for an item, the other enemy was for specifically, okay. That first enemy was to make sure that this mission that I'm given is completed immediately. So I just talked to him twice and he's like, alright, here's your mission. Well done, you've done it. First though, I am going to quickly check this shop because it will have an important item check on it. Is it anything good? It's the memory of an ape, thank you. And this is why I pick up a lot of the money. Oddly appropriate place for it. All things considered. So there is an important item check on him. And there's also an important item check at the top of this. Again, oddly appropriate memory. But I will take it. And that is part of the more recent patch. The gauntlets and stuff like that means that if you do end up unlocking something, the game's just gonna be like, oh, you've filled the requirements for this specific gauntlet. Well done. It's like, yes, I definitely did that. Okay. Now I'm going to quickly try and do the bullfight. Actually, while I'm here, I do have one skill. Does this... Meta combat arts is actually really important. It's attack power. Also, another thing about that more recent patch I was referring to also means that there's an extra... There are extra things in the idle menu, so I have to be careful that I don't end up accidentally refighting a boss. Alright, so getting through here can be a little bit awkward, and also, if... I know I did mention that Gachin Sugar is not really something that I use all that much at all. This would be one time to try and... Because usually, one thing to note about randomizers is very often it's not the boss or the mini boss himself that's the issue. It's everything that comes along with it. Oh, it's a Miss Noble. Heal, let me just blast away at this. Alright, cool, I got my res back. This is what I mean. It's not the mini boss, it's everything else around it. I'm fighting the goddamn Miss Noble, and everything else is me. Memory and a God Seed, cool. One seems to be starting crippling me. Let me just give me 1 second to just... And let's keep on going. I do have the... where am I going to next? Back to the top of the castle. Okay. This fight at the top of the castle. It's a monk. Ugh, okay. We do have snap seeds. Yeah. Snap seeds to just chunk it down a little bit. Confetti because I definitely need it. And let's see how this goes. Ooh, okay. That's the first part of the fight down. But because of the way this works, there's another boss. And it's Lady Butterfly. Lady Butterfly phase 2? Well, at least I have these snapseeds ready. Instead of you, let me go view. Ooh, nearly didn't. Okay, cool. Game, you good. So, similarly to how this fight is two separate phases, Lady Butterfly is essentially, according to the randomizer, two separate bosses. So that was Lady Butterfly phase 2. Lady Butterfly phase 1 is still out in the wild. And now we get to talk to Kuro for a little bit. Once I get back, it's also just a bunch of busy work right now. As we get ready to do just more menuing stuff. Cool. Has things cleared up? Oh, I was down a memory that I had that I just didn't use. Has things cleared up in terms of frames dropping and stuff like that? Okay. So, what we have to do now is go over and talk to Ishin. That way, just things are progressing, you know, the whole shebang. It is interesting sometimes, because of the way the randomizer is. Sometimes you can have the Mortal Blade before coming to him, and there's actually like there's a unique dialogue where he's like, oh, that Mortal Blade, huh? Interesting. And then then you ask, so where is the Mortal Blade? Alright, so there's another important check. So I do get that. This guy can have something important. He doesn't. Thankfully, because I don't feel like going shopping. There is one more important shop, or one more shop that has an important item, which is available to me right now, but I'm not going to it just yet. Alright, there's another hint here. Spiritfall. Doesn't work. For me, that's usually an important item, but it gives me just a pellet. Alright, let me have a look at some of these hints. The Black Scroll. Past memory, treasure. Okay. Oh, I'm needing Puppeteer. A post-kite cavern means I need Puppeteer to get through. Let's talk about the spear. Thrust defense for sale. Oh, so if I go to the shop now, I'd be able to pick up a skill book that will have Mikiri counter in it, but for the time being, I'm not too worried about it. I can do fights without it. It's a nice crutch to have. There's a lot of fights where it's like, well, it's easy just to Mikiri counter things. Alright. Making our way through the depths. This is also another potentially annoying roadblock mini-boss. There are two roadblock mini-bosses in the depths. The one in Poison Pool and the one in the forest. And depending on what they are, it can be a bit of a rough time. Thankfully, it's Orin. if you're aware of how Orin is. What do I want? Did I have? No, I didn't have 7 rotor. Well, let's see how this goes. Okay, it's been a while since I've fought Orin. Okay. A little bit rusty on this fight. Not to worry, at least it was a quick death. Also, I want to try and get there without alerting the entire room. I do want to bring her out to this little opening because whenever... If I'm too close to a wall, it's very... I heard something in the... Oh, come on. Why is that wolf here? No. Oh, thank you, Orin. You're helping me out. Whoa! Okay. Not even close. So that's one of the annoying mini-bosses. Thankfully, that's done. Yeah, self-imposed mini-bosses is bloody wall. Don't really need that, but I guess thanks. But at least I do know, like, I do have a an idea of where I want to be going next. Because I know that I need to go into Hubert. So that's, like, after I'm done with this whole depths shenanigans, I will go straight to the past. This. Being stronger is actually kinda nice. It's very handy to not die to a single hit. Oh yeah. The forest is very dangerous as well. Say hello to the second of the headless that we are also not going to interact with. I'm going to have a bit of a squiz at whatever mini-boss is here. Probably not going to fight him. Yeah, I'll take a pass on that one for now. Surely I can get this little trick before getting shot. There we go. Oh, it's Shigekichi. Hello, big dude. Thankfully, I have this. Shigekichi is one of those very, very tough mini-bosses, and if you don't have the right tools or enough strength, even finding them early on can be an absolute struggle. Luckily, you can actually just get a nice, pretty free death blow at the very start, coming in here, and also having the spear to just get rid of the armor. It's a lot of damage very quickly. Alright. Making our way down to the village. There are a bunch of important checks. One of which I can't get to, but don't need to, because I remember there was one of the hints that said there is nothing important underwater. That bar you see on the screen, that is the blue mist nobles. They are something. Also, this village has learned violence. Thanks for the important bait. Feels very much like it at this point in time. I will grab this. This is caution in case the boss fight does not go according to plan. I'm gonna go around this way because sometimes the mini boss is not something I want to be fighting. And it is... yeah, I can fight you. Alright, good trade. This at the honestly, like, best case scenario, it gives me like a memory. Worst case scenario, it just slices me in two. Alright. Yes, I did lose my resurrection, but that's fine. Well, there you go, there's a memory. I'm not gonna bother going all the way back and then coming back before this boss fight. We'll see how we go without it. Let me just jump in here. This is the way I've... Oh, come on. Trying to get in here without having to... Got it perfectly fine before. There we go. Yay, gotcha and sugar, just what I wanted. What boss we're looking at here? Oh, just Genichi. I don't have Mikiri counter. That's what I'm saying about using Mikiri counter as a bit of a crutch. It's like, it's not necessary to beat them, but it's definitely nice to have. Alright, so another benefit of this particular fight is that it gives a lot of experience. See, it's like doubling the amount of levels that I have. Alright, there's another item here, which is where the shelter stone usually is. Ooh, it means I can do all of Harada 1. I was already going to Harada because I know there's something there on a treasure. But that does give me the option to go all the way through. Wait, where is... It's not that? Okay, I guess I don't have the thing for getting Bakiri. I guess I'll do a seed without it. Okay. Time to blast through the important checks here. Afterwards, actually, I will go through and fight whatever is going to be replacing Lady Butterfly. Because mid-game boss has what I need, stuff I need. And for the sake of the hints, like, usually, this is an early game location. Like, playing casually, this is very much an early game location. With the way the hint system is and the randomizer, because... Actually, no, this is still... Actually, this is still early because I found the bell charm in an early game location, but because of where I found the key, that boss is a mid-game location. There's some weird technicalities going on with what is early, mid, and late game when it comes to the hints and like where's the cutoff and how they interact with each other. Am I getting jumped on by something? Oh no, it's you. Okay, that was done. A memory, love to see it. Alright, so... What? There is the pagoda. There's something on the pagoda. But at least at this point, we're at the point, we've exhausted all the shops. I believe. There's an important check up here. There is another important treasure, but that's behind the next mini boss. What do you got for me? That's important. Thank you. Trying to drop in on that chicken. Oh, that's very helpful. And that's what I mean by, even though it's not technically an important location, things being good to pick up. Alright, what do you have, Dad? Oh, they're prophetic. You're gonna start throwing poison at me later, aren't you? Let's make our way through. That flute sound has haunted me for so long now. I've had to listen to those flutes. I actually did a run at one point, which was another thing with the randomizer. You can kind of do some interesting things with it. You can replace all enemies with a single enemy type. So I made it so literally every enemy in the game was that blue Miss Noble. It turned into a stealth game. Boss fights were a breeze, but just getting there was challenging. Let me just see what I have here. Actually, yes, I do want the carps. Those are just like good to have. Suppress presence, sure. That's fine. The red nobles, they're fine. They just clamber around and be a bit of a nuisance. They're not that much of a threat. It's the blue ones that will kill you and drain you of your fluids. Alright, coming this way just to try and make it a little bit easier. Alright, it's going to be... Let me just get rid of you because you are actually a real toughie. And this is what I mean by lot of the times, the mini-boss himself isn't the issue. Because damage-wise, I'm dealing with it just fine. It's just everything else that can potentially kill me at the same time. Alright, there. Let's do a quick check of this. This is the other from soft doors, alright? Okay. That'll be. Even though I'm not sure if this boss is going to have anything for me, it's not that much of an investment. Like, in terms of scaling, it's pretty low in the pecking order. But, as I mentioned before with the whole Lady Butterfly counting as 2 bosses, like each phase counts essentially as its own boss, does mean that I'll have 2 bosses here. So, what are we going to get? I have had things where it's just like Emma and Old Man issue. What do we got? He's picked up a sword. I do like the Lady Genichiro, it's a nice touch. Alright, cool, you're down. Now I wanna... Oh, it is gonna be Emma. Thankfully. No issues. There have been multiple occasions where Emma in this arena has hit me with the command throw and bugged out the game, so I was stuck in a permanent T-pose. Gunfort key. That's really good. I think I'm gonna go through Sunken Valley now. I don't have to fight any of the mini-bosses because I know that there's nothing on them. Well, there is one that I have to do because it is a roadblock. It is the one in the gun fort, but in terms of important checks, most of the things in Sunken Valley are, treasure. Yep, thank you, Kura, for the little running commentary. Okay, there are a handful of checks I get. Because where's my attack at? I'm at attack 8, which is pretty good for this point in the game. I don't have the Mortal Blade yet. It would be nice to have. As you've seen, I'm able to get through fights without it, but it's nice to have the extra power, right? There's an important check here. There's a lot of the like very special upgrade materials, which just I don't bother with that. I have not bothered about upgrading the prosthetics during Randomiser. It's cool. It's just not something that I have taken the time out of my day in the middle of a randomizer to get shot. Well, that's a lie. I always get shot in these randomizers. Ooh. That was an important item check. It's usually a thing of prayer bait. And that's another thing about playing so much randomizer. I forget what is usually in these spots. Hey, got it. That's actually a fairly difficult jump. Oh, thank God I don't have to fight this. Sakura Ball? Oh, there it goes. The unfortunate thing is that if there was something important there, I would still have to, like, reload that and fight it, because even though it looks like it died, as you can see, I didn't get an item from it. The balls tend to have a habit of jumping off for some reason. That specific location. And if that happens, you need to reload the area and actually fight it in a way that it won't just jump off. There has been a scene in the past where the breathing technique was on a bull on that location, and I didn't recognize it for so long because I was like, oh, surely it wasn't anything, right? I don't have Mikiri, but it's fine. Just roll through it. One thing that the randomizer did teach me is how to fight so many enemies just straight up. Or at least find good cheeses for certain bosses and mini bosses. Which, if we do find the true monk, oh, actually, no. Oh, I actually voided out from that because I was that high. Usually, what I do is if I just drop down, I screwed it up. That was a new one for me. Usually I just drop down immediately and just go. And just the time it takes for the snake to get there and for me to be underneath that spot, it's usually perfectly fine, but for some reason I felt like jumping and screwing the whole system up. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is the boss fight at the end of this. I hope... What do I hope? Oh, there's a congregation of monkeys, which is now expanded to something a little bit more dangerous. Oh, we got Al. Right, I'm gonna use this. Alright, this is gonna be a great shinobi, so talking. Cool. Nice. I mostly use the confetti against him just because we end up doing a lot of trading blows back and forth. Like, getting the extra damage through the block is really, really handy. And also, I'm like pretty stacked out at this point. I'm at like 9 attack power, which is really, really good. I don't really need that. What do we got? A memory? The breathing technique, let's go! So what do I need? The shelter stone, the branch, the tears, and the key. And then we're good to run this seed out. But There's still a little bit to go before that. Oh, I need Puppeteer, don't I? Just remembered. Right. Just jump down here. I always loved it with that jump. Like being able to do those big drops and just like catch yourself at the last second kind of thing is always kind of fun. Fan favorite? Ooh. Do you have something? No, it's all bait. However, there is another fight here. Because I did that fight at the end of Sunken Valley, it opens up this boss fight, which is far and away the highest value check in the game. Because it has 4 important item checks. But, what do we got? Ah, yes, the all sorts thing. Oh no, it's just regular old man. Cool. I don't have Mercury. I still don't have the Mortal Blade, do I? There we go. See, Ishin, I'm perfectly fine with. Either that one or Sword Same. There's a level of predictability to them, but the ape and the demon, nah, they're just. There's a Mortal Blade. Oh. And it's. Oh, lovely, 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 lovely. And another memory, so I am pretty well stacked. 11 attack is really good. I guess I can go back to Sempo. I do know that I need to go to Sempo at least for the Puppeteer stuff, but because there is something that the snake is holding on to that they are not letting go of for the time being. But in terms of what item tracks are still available, there's this mini boss here, there's another mini boss. I know that. Good thing I didn't come here. Oh, I do not have any. This is why you like to hold on to at least some confetti. Oh. I'm gonna need to find some confetti, aren't I? actually. Oh, that mini boss is still there. So let me check this mini boss before I have to follow us around with that. I am gonna pick up some of the items around here just to see if I can get some confetti. Come on, I need confetti. Oh no, this sucks. That's always the thing about... Oh, actually, there's a... I know what I can do after this. There's another mini boss in the forest. Puppeteer, there it is. Oh, thank God. There have been some seeds where I have forgotten all about that mini boss. And it's had something important. Thankfully, I decided to come here. So let me just put the model drawer on, the puppeteer ninjutsu. Thank you, Enlighten 1. Alright. So, puppeteer. The two uses for, well, the two progression related uses for puppeteer. This, so that they set up this kite, and the snake that I jumped around before, you're usually expected to have puppeteer to use on the monkey that's nearby it, and then have the monkey distract the snake so it can get past. But we just jump past. I still need the branch. Let me just do a quick inventory check. Yeah. I need the tears, I need the stone, and I need branch. Everything else I've already got. And that's kind of the nature of this. It's where is that last piece? If this is going to be the shelter stone, we at least get some progression. I'm going to be picking up items along the way because, as we saw, not having confetti to deal with the Shichimen is a real sad time. Yep. What do you have for us, bud? Please be the shelter stone. It's the branch. Oh yeah, that was that other mini boss that I was thinking of doing. Robo voice. Well, I am also in Australia, so connection is probably not up to the same standards. Where is some of this confetti? I'll go try the other forest mini boss, because on the way there I can also check a lot of just random items. There's a lot of items in the forest that I can just pick up. And now that I've already done... Alright, there we go. I knew there's like a stack of stuff. I'm not gonna check that. Let me out. Let me out of this. It's all just not very useful. Okay, let me see about this mini-boss shenanigans. Oh, there's another one there. Let me hit him! He's so close! I had him. Oh! Two of these Lone Shadow ninja things. Oh, I've died enough to get the rot. This is unfortunate. Yeah. Okay. So close. Yeah, so far. Actually, let me just quickly check this. I have all this money and nothing to do with it. I wish I had that problem IRL. Alright, while I'm here, might as well just check some items, because if I don't get the item I need from this particular fight, and I don't have confetti, we're in for some pain. Oh, not what I intended, but sure. I am just getting comboed. Oh my god, these ninjas! Alright, let me... get up here. Give me my health back. Yeah, well, I got some monkey boost. If anyone was looking for that. Get up here. I don't want to deal with... what's his name? Oh! You tried. Oh! Oh! Thank you. Get rid of that one. Guess I'll just fight you straight up. It's a big fan, by the way. Oh, jeez. Where? I'm gonna have to try and find some bloody confetti. I need some confetti to fight that man. Otherwise, that is going to be a rough time. I'm going to check this shop. Come on, homie, help me out. No. Where? What do you think you're doing? Where are you from? You're up there? Oh, God. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through... because I don't have any confetti. I've done pretty much everything else. I'm just trying to think if there's anything that I haven't done that. I think it is just this mini boss, and I'm not liking it. I guess I can try and just mortal deliver it to death. Let me just check some more item spots and see if I can scrunch together some confetti. Nope. There's another check here, please. You're my last chance. Can you give me eel liver? This game is doing me dirty. I'll take the death. Oh, come on. Go to the other side of the world. Oh my god. Trying to fight those guys without sugar, without confetti, sorry, is... Oof. You had nothing. I got through the fight, but at what cost? Some sanity? There is another mini-boss down here. Oh, it's the basic lab. This is gonna be the tougher one. Because he's already done. Thanks for the skill text, I guess. And now to get to the top of this whole song and dance. And for people who are wondering, how do you randomize the monkeys? The folding screen monkeys? Just replace all 4 of the monkeys with a different mini-boss. I'm going to check the treasure on the hill. Now, this seed is like really not treating me kindly. There is a treasure like up on the hill there. And ow, ow, ow. Thank you. This game, I swear. Is it out to get me? This is like one of the most annoying time investment for the amount of checks in the game. Because I have to go through all of this for a single check. And if it is going to be the Shelter Stone, I'm going to be a little bit annoyed. But it also will mean that I won't have to go through folding screens. Which I guess is a blessing in disguise, though. Please, just try and hit me through that. Please, just try and hit me through that. Yeah, fine, just kill me. Okay. Let's go. Come on. We'll do that. Sometimes I need to... If this second one over here ends up being... Oh, that's Shizu over there. Did it end up being a centipede? Because sometimes if the second one, like the roaming one is centipede, it can get a little bit funky AI-wise. Like sometimes they'll end up just like hanging out in the middle of nowhere. It looks like that might be the case. What's down there? Well, there's a centipede there. Ashton's capital may make your ears ring, which means nothing there. That's another thing about this section, is that because there's usually hints as to how to defeat the monkeys. Lost village, yep. All four of those have unique hints. You just need... But yeah. Side. Someone's stomping around. Oh, hello. Wait, where did she go? She's over there now. Come on. Oh my god. I'm just... Come on, I can do this. Please. Thank you. As you can see, this is kind of an easy location to be killing the Armored Warrior. There are a lot of... You can essentially put the Armored Warrior everywhere, because the way in which the randomizer is put together... Shelter Stone, let's go! The way in which it's put together, it makes it so in order to kill the Armored Knight, instead of being you have to drop him into a pit of some sort, it goes just kick him into some terrain and it will do the job for you. Just kick him into terrain and they will fall through it. So you kick them into a rock, they will fall through it. There's been some times where I fight them in Harada 2 as the lone shadow that's there, and you just got to kick him into a fiery rock. But now that we have the Shelter Stone, the invasion has started, and now we're getting much, much closer to the end of this. We just need the Divine Dragon Tears, and I believe we're done. Well, I say we're done, we then have to do a bunch of boss fights. Because because what I'm looking at right now is there's the fight at the top of this castle, which, knowing my luck, is going to be Sword Saint Ishin. And then we get to Fountainhead, and knowing my luck, the fight in the bridge is going to be the Demon of Hatred. Or it could be Monk. But it could be a Monk here. What do we got?
Enough talk.
Been a while since we did this. Give me your all.
I don't have Mikiri, so I have to boot. I don't usually have this much attack coming into this, which is nice. It's always awkward when there's a whiff shot, because it just like screws around with my muscle memory so much. Have a quick look at my health, see how much of those I can actually do. Second. Sweet. Yeah.
And she might have a mouth infection, so that's why she's not eating.
Possible, yeah.
So we're going to probably take more teeth out and just get blood up there.
Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's Sword Saint dealt with. Pretty happy with how that one went. There's still what other mini bosses? What other bosses are there still in the way? As mentioned, there is the other monk. There is the other owl. There is the first two Genichiros. There is Headless Ape. There is the other monk. Oh, I forgot about this. Because I picked up the Rice for Kuro, I end up wasting a bunch of time. Because I have to do this whole song and dance where it's like, oh, I give him the flower. Oh, and then I have to go and rest. And then come back to him and he'll be like, oh, I've made you something. And then I have to go and rest again because Kuro's like, oh, you're not going to eat it in front of me? Well, that's weird. So I have to do that whole thing. You just gave me some medicine, kid. I don't need the medicine, but thank you. Alright. Now we just have to do a whole bunch of talking because we have not been doing a lot of talking with the NPCs. It's just a lot of dialogue that I have to just like mash through. I think that's enough talking to Kuro, because I just need to get an item from you. Not important, just an item to let me know, because I think it's Paige's diary that she usually gives. Alright, so there we go. We need to do all this talking. Is that it? No, not yet. It is quicker to not have the subtitles on. Weirdly enough, that was a relatively recent discovery that turning subtitles off speeds things up. The downside is I completely forget where I am with how much dialogue I've gone through. So, anyway. Okay, so that's all of the talking done. And now we get to go back to the wedding cave door. And this is the reason why I always go straight to the depths. Or I go through the depths when I do, because I'm going to have to come back here eventually. And, wait, what's my attack at? 11? If I do encounter the demon on the bridge, I think I'm okay. The annoying thing about the demon on the bridge compared to fighting demon anywhere else is that there's a lot of weird architecture that the demon can get caught on and makes fighting... It's awkward. The demon gets caught on things and makes it difficult to try and fight it. Thankfully, we don't. Just Genichiro. However, this one is going to be scaled, so it's not going to be as free. This looks like tutorial Genichiro. And as you can see, it kind of hits. Another awkward thing about fighting the demon here is that there's a lot of those situations where... Okay, cool. Where you need to jump away from him while it does that big jumping attack that does the big slam and all that kind of stuff. And you want to use the grapple to get back in close to the demon. There's a lot of times where doing that, you'd accidentally grapple onto one of these and you just don't grapple onto the demon, and it makes it really annoying. Oh, okay, we are in go mode. We can just finish this game out now. Sweet! We have all that we need. We got the secret passage key. We have the tears. We have the breathing technique. And when I was saying earlier about the hint saying a technique to meet a dragon, it's kind of a roundabout way. Also, 2 fish. 2 big fish. And coming up is one of the parts of the randomizer, which is, I think, one of the big selling points for it. Actually, I did get a skill book, so I might as well check what we got. Shinobi Eyes, more healing, sure. I still don't have Magiri counter, but yeah, I can go 1 seed without using it. Should be fine. Take it back. I'm just going to grab this just for safety, because who knows how this fight is going to go. It is really just a crapshoot. Okay, welcome to the party. And my controller disconnected at that perfect time. Lovely. Alright, we're good. Oh no, I tried to heal using Elden Ring buttons. a safe thing to do is to just run around, wait for these trees to come up, and then just use the big this, because that does instant kills. Ooh, almost did. Please. Sweet. Good damage. Let me get amongst them. What is real and what is not? I know that the white dragon is always something that is needed to be killed. It is like still part of the health bar. Sweet. That's all of them done. Oh, hello. Rude. Divine Gyobu, yes. Let's go. We love it, Divine Gyobu. We also love camera souls. Oh, oh, jeez. Also, that whole scaling thing, yeah, that. Whoa. Come on. Alright, cool. Oh, the camera is really not helping me out here. Oh no. That was such a weird attack for them to do. I was expecting them to run away and I'd grapple to them, but that is really annoying. And I have to do that pre-fight all over again. Well, if I'm gonna die to someone in heaven, might as well be Gilbert. Yeah, this segment is very awkward. Come on, please stand up a tree. I'm begging you. Ow. Okay. Come on. Almost. What's left? I assume that dog. I mean, you should just like, instead of like trying to gamble on what is real, I'm just gonna do this. Scorched Earth. Camera, what are you doing? My boy. You really... Oh my god, the camera is not making it easy. Come on. I'm just going with Arco. The camera is getting me killed! Ah. This is really annoying. Okay, round 3. Let's go. Come on. Give tree, please. Thank you. There's most of them done. Whoa. That was funny. Didn't see that one. Are you? Ow. Come on. There we go. Okay, round number 3. Come on, Gyobu. We love Divine Gyobu, but you've overstayed your welcome just a little bit. The good thing about that move in particular, where you start swinging it around, is parrying that does a lot of posture damage. Alright. I'm just going to use this and hope for the best. I died by getting kicked in the head by a horse. Oops. Thank you. Jeez. Gilbert, I swear to all that's holy. The FromSoft camera. We're gonna have words. Okay, one more double boss fight. And there's a good chance that the demon's gonna end up there, so we have a finale on our hands. Slender finger, come on, something good. No, don't need it. Well, also, game decides it struggles a little bit here because there's a lot of enemies that get randomized here that the game just doesn't really particularly enjoy. Oh, that would have hurt if I shot there. What do we have here? This is Colorado. He's fine. Okay. Let me guess, it's going to be Demon of Hatred into the Divine Dragon. Because the game really likes throwing that at me with these settings. Okay, Dragon first, Divine Dragon first, cool. I'm going to play it very steady and not like use too much because I don't know what's coming next. Like, I'm not going to go for any, like, using Mortal Draw to try and just speed it up and stuff like that. I'm just gonna take it nice and steady because I would like to use most of my tools when I get to whatever is next. But I am hoping it's a monk. I'm hoping it's the monk. If it's Demon of Hatred, that's not gonna be a fun time. Come on. I've gotten into the habit of not going for this when they're doing the vertical hits because so many times I've gone for the lightning while they're doing the vertical hits and I just top it. I just get smacked out of the air and it is just pain. Come on. Yeah. It's always going to be on this one over here. Shot, where are you? There you are. And teleporting. Oh, here we go. Of course the game had to give me Demon of Hatred as a finale. Whoa. sorry if I'm not going to be speaking too much while I'm doing this fight, because I definitely need to focus, because this fight is brutal. Please don't get too far away from me. Camera? Ugh. Whew. Okay, that's phase 1. I only have spirit form. Actually, do I have just regular arco? No, I do not. I only have these. This is the move that I don't like. Get back away. I very nearly hopped it. One more hit should do it for this next phase. There we go. Having devotion and extending the timer for... oh! I ended up going in front of him, which is not what usually happens. There have been times where they did the back and forth sweeping in a position where it essentially got caught up. Oh, hello. And so what happened was he was doing it in the one spot, and I ended up landing on the flame lash, whatever you want to... Okay, that's fine. And what happened was, like, I landed on the flame lash. Like, I tried to jump over it and landed on it, and then it killed me and flung me off the stage at the same time, so I didn't get a resurrection. And there we go. Oh, jeez. Whew. There is some, funny enough, there are some seeds where that isn't the end of the run, because sometimes a hidden item, or an important item could be on this fight, which then opens up something else to where the tears are. But anyway, that is essentially it, and you can call time.
I am at your side.
Whew. The only real hang up there in that run was Gyobu in heaven. That was it. Everything else was pretty clean for the most part. So I'm pretty happy with how things went. Almost perfectly on estimate. Perfect. because yeah, a lot of the time I'm usually doing it off in-game time, and the light split plugin takes out a lot of the loading screens, so it's usually around 140 is usually my average there. But yeah, real time, it's figured give myself a little bit of extra time to work with, and also just in case something like that happens where I end up death looping on a really tough situation. And I also had to deal with that Shichiman warrior. So all in all, pretty solid, and showed off some of the really cool things about the Sekiro randomizer. If you do want to check it out, it is available. I think Fifth Matt is the one who put it all together, so shout outs to him for actually doing that and actually making it function the way it does. They mentioned that it is much different and you're able to do much more with it than a lot of the other FromSoft randomizers. And as you can see, we can do it. You can randomize everything, and there's a lot more you can do with it as well. You can make it easier or harder depending on what kind of experience you're looking for. So yeah, you should be able to find it on Nexus. I think it's on Nexus Mods. The enemy and item randomizer. Also, if you're looking for help in how to get these things set up, or looking to just chat about them in general, the Sekiro Speedrun Discord is where a lot of us end up hanging out when it comes to the randomizer side as well, especially for this style where it's more of like a race setting. The settings that we're using is essentially called the race seed. So yeah, if you want to hang out, play some randomizers. I know Elden Ring is still there, which I'm probably going to jump onto very much soon after this. But yeah, thanks for having me. I will be on tomorrow for Metroid and doing a Metroid Dread run, so hope to see you all then. But until then, thanks for having me. Stick around because Twinman is going to be doing Dark after this, so that's going to be a fun one. That's an interesting time. So stick around and look forward to that one. And thanks for having me, and have a wonderful rest of your day.